Welcome. I'm Gayathri and I'm passionate about transformative coaching in the realm of life and leadership. My journey towards coaching started with an educational background in psychology and over 20 years of corporate leadership. Today, my commitment to help unlock limitless possibilities within each individual has culminated in the creation of my organization, Realize to Win. As a certified master coach, my philosophy centers around the power of the human mind and its boundless capacity for growth and achievement. My approach is rooted in the belief that with the right mindset, training, and guidance, there's truly no limits to what you can accomplish. My work is just not about reaching goals. It is truly about redefining the very boundaries of potential. Join me every week on my podcast, Catalyze Your Self, where we can dive into mindsets, experiences, and practical steps that will ignite your transformation towards limitless possibilities. I look forward to connecting with each and every one of you. Welcome back to Catalyze Your Self, the podcast where we unlock the secrets to living a more fulfilling life through real science, practical day-to-day steps, and true stories. I'm your host, Gayathri, and in episode 7 today, we will look into how you can balance your mind. In the next few minutes, we will be diving into what it truly means to balance your mind, how to achieve it, and the transformative impact it can have on your life. Now, when we talk about a balanced mind, we are just simply referencing to a state where stress, emotions, and your thoughts are managed in harmony. Studies in positive psychology show consistently that a balanced mind can lead to better decision making, improved mood stability, and enhanced overall well being. Now, achieving a balanced mind doesn't just help you handle stress, it truly transforms your life. Imagine being more productive at work, having healthier relationships with your own self and with others, and embracing a happier, more content version of yourself. These aren't just possibilities. This is what you can expect when you commit to balancing your mind. And today, I can speak on this because I've walked the path. I have walked the path where I was absolutely not balanced and I lost control of my ship and myself and my life. I have walked the path of recognizing the reality of the lack of balance in my life and its impact on my life. I have walked the path of taking the steps to regain that balance in my life and its impact it had in transforming my life when I achieved that balance. And I now walk the path of awareness that allows me to reflect and respond when chaos comes my way. And I remain in place, in balance through it. Today, when I say this is possible, I say it with absolute conviction, as I have seen this happen for myself. In the next few minutes, I want to walk you through my personal journey. My catalyst to create that recognition in me that I had to take steps to achieve my balance occurred in the midst of a particularly challenging time in my life, which is typically the case for those of us who don't proactively identify those scenarios or the awareness of it's happening as it's happening. Typically, we recognize it when there has been a massive chaotic moment or something extremely challenging comes into our lives and we are suddenly faced with it, and our response to it indicates to us, something has got to give, something's got to change, I need to look at this. So for me, at the time, more than one relationship that I had nourished for many years and some from childhood demonstrated to me that these were individuals not truly invested in my best interest. They were present or absent based on their own best interests. And perhaps they always were. And it took this combination of events for me to truly recognize the reality of it. On top of that, I was in the midst of a very high stakes legal dispute that could result in great personal loss for me based on how it went. The signs that I was not in balance showed up in so many ways. I was constantly feeling anxious about what may happen. I was not sleeping well. I was definitely not emotionally regulated. I was distracted and I had trouble focusing. The turning point came for me in a quiet moment of reflection. Now, by this time, I was already somebody who had incorporated the growth mindset into my daily life. And part of growth mindset is self reflection practices. And this is a key component of creating a positive, optimistic strategy in your life. This reflection for this particular instance did not come out of the personal chaos that I was experiencing, but it came out of a professional scenario that I faced, an initiative that I had implemented successfully multitude of times prior to this did not go well. It did not hit the mark. So a practice that I'd already incorporated in my work life was bringing the team in together, and we would reflect on lessons learned so we could do it differently and more effectively and successfully the next time. And part of that exercise included each one of us reflecting and bringing down our thoughts. So I took this time to reflect, and this reflection shifted me. Yes, there were things that were clearly amiss in the work steps that needed to accomplish in the professional side, but it also brought my awareness to the chaos that was happening in my personal life that I was not proactively attending to. I was letting everything just happen because my priority was work, and in the end, I'm not doing any of it well, right? So to be honest, this startled me. The work was something I felt I could accomplish in my sleep, and when I reflected on it, there were gaping holes. And the clear indication, as my reflection showed me, is it is because I was not in balance. I had truly allowed the chaos that I was dealing with to enter my mind and create chaos in my mind. I made the decision in that moment to make the change, to get my mind back into balance and calm. And how I went about it and how you can also do the same is, if you want to, is what I want to share with you now. So let's start with, what is a balanced mind? A balanced mind is typically characterized by a harmonious interplay of various psychological and emotional components that contribute to overall mental health and well-being. What I learned through my research and studies and what I personally prioritized to achieve balance, let me share with you. The first is achieving emotional stability. My turning point was that recognition that had allowed myself to be overwhelmed by my emotions, and this turned on my resilience. This reminded me of my ability to start recovering from any emotional upheaval. I have demonstrated this before, and my strength to bounce back from adversity, trauma, tragedy, or stress is something I can repeat. The next thing is leaning into my cognitive flexibility. And this is just me making it fancy. It's nothing but recognizing that my brain has the capacity to adapt and flex to whatever is coming my way. My reflections reminded me of my capacity to adapt my thinking in response to changing environments or scenarios. This included being open to new ideas and trust in my capacity to think on my feet and my willingness to adjust opinions when presented with new information. Be nimble. The other one is taking opportunities for being mindful. Those who know me know I'm very passionate about this. This is a reminder that I needed to be present in the moment and be attentive to my current experiences and feelings without any undue judgment or distraction. Mindfulness truly enhances an individual's ability to engage in the present and act consciously rather than reactively. I speak about this more at length in episode 5, Win Life Mindfully. If you have not already, I would truly encourage you to tune in, and I'm sure you will find it insightful. Another approach that I ensured I incorporated was embracing rational thinking. When our brain is focused on emotions, it is paying so much less attention to thinking. In the same token, when our brain is focused on thinking, it is paying so much less attention to emotion. A balanced mind has the ability to think clearly, logically, and make choices that are not overarchingly influenced by transient emotions. Emotions come and go, but a logical decision can have long-term impacts in a positive way. I have two more. One is engaging in regular physical activity. I say this all the time. Your physical activity level is what your body is comfortable with and what you're willing to commit to. Nobody should force you to take it on. But if you choose to, it can give you great benefits back. Exercise gives you endorphins, and endorphins are good for your mind to feel calm and centered. I started small, and today exercise is a part of my life, and it has given me back, not just in the results that my body shows, but in my mind. It taught me the value of trusting the process, persistence, discipline, connecting my mind to my body and its performance and focus. And it absolutely, truly boosts my mood. Finally, practicing self compassion. Recognize that it is okay to feel out of balance sometimes. Everybody does. That is just the nature of this body that we have. We have to be kind to ourselves, and we have to acknowledge our efforts to regain stability. Self-compassion can reduce the pressure, and it helps you refocus on what truly matters to you. Giving grace to myself is something I do consistently, and I would encourage all of us to do it. Learning is an iteration. Life is filled with learning, and learning comes with lessons. So, grace is very, very important for your mind to stay balanced. Now that I've shared with you a few strategies that I used to achieve balance, I want to touch on the topic of emotions. I briefly touched on it earlier, but there are a few points I want to truly highlight here. Our mind and body are constantly sending signals to each other. And this includes when things are great and things are not so great. And this is how our mind and body truly functions as one holistic being. Emotions is one of the tools they use to speak to each other. This is why emotions can come when your body is not performing optimally, which could be hormones, bones, muscles, whatever they may be. This is why emotions come to your mind when you have been impacted in a positive or negative way by the mind, or how your mind has perceived or accepted some stimuli that has come in. This dialogue is happening so both the mind and body can cooperate with each other and healing can happen. Emotions are signals from your mind, and they're a response of your psyche for something you got exposed to. Emotions with intensity impact your physiology and nervous system, and this is where your body will show signs of fight or flight. Every emotion is valid and should be respected as the signal that it is, not to be suppressed, not to be judged, but to be recognized. Balancing emotion would ensure that the positives are nurtured and the negatives become true compasses for you to move to a solution. Now, what do I mean by this? Positive emotions like happiness, contentment, love, gratefully accept those and nurture it with your mind because they bring harmony into your senses. Negative emotions that take you off balance, like sadness, anger, fear, they are important and they tell you what needs to change. So you have to pay even more attention so you can come back into balance. Coming back to balance is what the mind truly needs and wants for your health. A state where your emotions, thoughts, and actions act harmoniously. And this is what leads to your improved mental health and well being. It is important for us to recognize that when our mind is telling us what it needs to through the tools it has, and when our body is telling us what it needs to through the tools it has, we respect it, we attend to it, and we take the steps to do what we need to get back into balance. And if we keep it that simple, we will find that our lives start becoming simpler. I promise you. When you start to balance your mind, you will see the results. You will notice better control over your emotions. You will notice enhanced creativity and a deeper connection with your own self and to those around you. I am grateful for where I am today and for the lessons life has given me to reach this place where I'm able to share my own lessons with you. I would like to challenge each of you to take some time to reflect. Are you at a place where you find your mind to be balanced? Are you at a place where you respect your emotions and you're not overwhelmed by them? Are you at a place where you're ready to make a change and start the steps towards achieving balance? If you are, I can assure you, you can do it. Just decide and just start. And I will always say this, give yourself grace through it all. As we wrap up today's episode, if you find yourself struggling or simply wanting a more tailored approach to balancing your mind, please do not hesitate to connect with me. I offer personalized coaching that can support you in reaching your personal and professional goals. Reach out to me through Instagram or LinkedIn. I'm here to help. And if you've enjoyed today's episode, please do not forget to subscribe, like, share, comment. Your engagement helps these messages reach a wider audience, and it helps provide valuable insights to those who need it. And finally, thank you for tuning into another episode of Catalyze Yourself. Today we focused on balancing your mind. I'm Gayathri, and until next time, let us all keep balancing and keep thriving.